Okay, so we are going to read chapters 3 and chapters 4 of book 9, Dolphins at Daybreak. Okay, chapter 3 is called Mini Sub. Remember, they're on the mini submarine and they are going to, they just went down to the water. We've really done it now, Annie, said Jack. Sorry, but look out the window, Annie said. Look! Forget it. We have to figure this out. Jack stared at the computer. He saw a row of pictures at the top of the screen. What did you do? He asked. I just pressed the on button, said Annie. The screen lit up, and I pressed the starfish. That must be the command to get under the water, said Jack. Yeah, then the map came on, said Annie. Okay. The map shows the reef, said Jack. Look, there's the mini sub on the map. It's moving away from the reef. It's like a video game, said Annie. I bet I know what to do. Annie pressed a key with an arrow pointing right. The mini sub on the screen moved right. The real mini sub turned to the right also. Great, said Jack with relief. You pressed the arrows to steer the mini sub. So now we could go back. Oh no, not right away, said Annie. It's so beautiful down here. She doesn't want to go down yet because she says it's so beautiful, but Jack is so ready to go back. We have to get back to the reef, said Jack. His eyes were still glued to the computer screen. What if the owners find it gone? Look at the window, said Annie, just for one teeny second. Jack sighed. He pushed his glasses into place and looked up. Oh man, he said softly. Outside the glass was a strange world of bright moving colors. It looked like another planet. The mini sub was moving past red, yellow, and blue coral, past little coral mountains, valleys, and caves, past fishes of every color and size. Can't we stay a little while? The answer to Morgan's riddle must be here, said Annie. Jack nodded slowly. She might be right, he thought. Besides, when would they ever get to visit a place like this again? See how they're on the submarine? They're in the submarine, they're down, they're looking at all the coral reefs and all the fish. Looks like an eel is on the bottom. And now we're on chapter 4, Fish City. There were fish everywhere, floating over the swaying seagrass, eating on the white sandy bottom, peeping out of coral caves. Some kinds of coral looked like blue fingers or lacy fans. Others looked like deer antlers or lettuce leaves or mushrooms or trees. There were so many different corals and they all looked so different. Jack read in the book, coral reefs are only found in warm tropical waters. Nearly 5,000 different species of fish live around coral reefs in the Indian and Pacific Oceans. Jack pulled out his pencil and notebook. He started to write a list. Coral reef research. Warm water, over 5,000 kinds of fish. Look, said Annie. The sub floated past a huge starfish, then a pink jellyfish, then a blue seahorse. Jack added to his list. Starfish, jellyfish, seahorse. What is that? Said Annie. Jack saw a creature that looked like a giant pancake with a long tail. A stingray, said Jack. He put that on his list as well. That's another thing we're going to be making. We're going to make a submarine and we're going to make a stingray. And that, said Annie. She pointed to the biggest shell Jack and Annie had ever seen. It was as big as a footstool. I'll have to check on that one, said Jack. He turned the pages of the ocean book. When he got to the page about clams, he read aloud. The giant clam of coral reef is 3 feet wide and weighed up to 200 pounds. Wow, said Annie. No kidding, said Jack. He added giant clam to his list. Dolphins! Cried Annie. Jack looked up. 2 dolphins were peering in the window. They tapped their noses against the glass. Their eyes were bright. They seemed to be smiling. Jack laughed. It's like we're in a fish tank And they're looking at us, he said. Remember, Leonardo said yesterday that he thought that the Jack and Annie were going to communicate with the dolphins, and that's what it seems like is going to happen. Their names are Suki and Sam, said Annie, sister and brother. You're nuts, said Jack. Here's a kiss for you, Suki, Annie said. She pressed her lips to the glass as if she were kissing the dolphin's nose. Oh, brother, said Jack, but the dolphin opened her mouth and tossed her head. She seemed to be laughing. Hey, I know the answer to the riddle. Dolphins, said Annie. They're gray and plain, but they have great beauty inside. You forgot the rough as a rock part, said Jack. Dolphin skin looks smooth and slippery. Oh, right, said Annie. The dolphins flipped their tails. They swam off into the light blue water. Wait, don't go, called Annie. Suki! But the dolphins were gone. It's time for us to go too, said Jack. He was afraid someone might be looking for the mini sub. But we haven't solved the riddle, said Annie. Jack studied the bright underwater world. I don't see the answer, he said. There's nothing plain at all out there. Then maybe the answer's in the mini sub, said Annie. They looked around the tiny space. I'll check the computer, said Jack. He studied the row of pictures at the top of the screen. He pressed the book picture. The words ship's log flashed onto the screen. And that is the end of chapter 4. You're going to make a prediction. What do you think is going to happen now that they just pressed the button with the book? It says ship's log. What do you think is going to be on there? And do you think it's going to be the clue or do you think it's going to be something else? I think it's going to be the clue. So I'm going to write, I think the book picture is the answer. I think the book picture is the answer. I think T H think the THE book b, 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 B picture P is I S the we should know THE answer a a a A. I think the book picture is the answer. Do you think that it's going to tell you the answer to the riddle? Do you think that it's just a coincidence? Do you think it's going to be trouble that she pressed that? What do you think is going to happen now that she pressed the book picture? You're going to make that prediction, and you are also going to make a submarine and a stingray.